I ended up giving this book 3.5, rounded up to 4 stars. I don't know, am I a picky reader? Maybe. But, whatever. To each their own. So I started The Abyss Beyond Dreams this week, a few days ago, by Peter F. Hamilton. And I am like 240 pages in out of 600 or 700 pages. I'm really liking it. I think that, so it starts back in time, and this whole crew of ships gets sucked into a void. And when they're in there, their tech starts to fail, and they suddenly have telepathy and telekinesis. So it's clear to them that the laws of physics from our world do not apply in this one. And so they also then go to this planet to land, because their tech is failing them. Why is this doing this? Don't understand. Then they go to, there's like this forest thing on the outside. I don't even know how to explain it. And they go in there to figure out what's that, and they find out that time is moving backwards in there. I think that the characters are really well done. They're an interesting technique that he uses in character development is he uses the telekinesis, the telepathy, to kind of give you like an inner look, no matter whose POV you're reading from, which I really enjoy. And there's time jumps between each section of the book so far. And so you're introduced to new characters in each time jump. And they're all very different and distinctive and certainly unique, which I appreciate. And there's a heavy emphasis that I've noticed so far on time, and that being as far as the physics of time, as well as aging and lifespan, things like that. So I can see why he has been hailed as one of the great sci-fi writers. I think he's a British author. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad I picked it up, and I will keep you posted as I continue on and let you know my final thoughts. I am very excited. This is actually my first book by him, and I have bought several, and so I'm happy that I'm liking it, because I have now, like, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 of his books. So if I didn't like his writing, that would have sucked. Anyway, it's a pretty day out. It's like 70 degrees, a little breezy. Come on, bear doggy. Bear. And so maybe later I'll get a chance to come out maybe by the pool and read. That would be fun. Anyway, that's all for now. Bye. But how pretty is this jasmine vine thing? Look. It blooms in like May and June, and the aroma that it puts off is amazing. It's so fragrant. It's so fragrant for like 2 months. Come on. And I just love it. But it is like over this little gateway. Anyway, just wanted to show you that. guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are wrapping up and giving my final thoughts and reactions to The Abyss Beyond Dreams by Peter F. Hamilton. This is a almost 700-page sci-fi first contact with aliens story. I know that kind of already gave you a little bit of a synopsis in my earlier clip, but I ended up giving this book 3.5, rounded up to 4 stars. And like I said, I know I talked briefly about the plot already, so I will just say that if you enjoy first contact with alien stories as well as settings with unconventional humans, then this book may be one for you that you might want to pick up soon. Definitely checked all those boxes. Like many works of science fiction, The Abyss Beyond Dreams imagines the future of mankind and the implications of a future that is far more advanced than the reality that we currently know. It incorporates new ideas surrounding time and dimensions and dares to imagine what life may look like for humans who have to start civilization all over again. So what the author really does well, Hamilton creates a multi-layered existence in these 2 dimensions. His characters and the society that he reveals offer a very technical and detailed view, but not ever for the sake of losing my interest or comprehension. He weaves this tale together very systematically and skillfully, and my interest never really faltered, and the characters held my attention at each turn. He is a master at knowing what to reveal and what to conceal to keep you turning the page. Another thing that stood out to me was the way he wrote his female characters. They were all very strong, very capable, and likable, often stealing the show from the men in the story. Things that I didn't like so much, and the reason that I gave this book 3.5 or 4 stars instead of 5 is that at times it felt less like a sci-fi book and more like political fiction. There's a large section in the middle and again towards the end that was heavy in political maneuvering and commentary, which to me felt just kind of sluggish. Though I understood the purpose, he was building the base of knowledge that you needed to comprehend this intricate plot out to its completion. Still, when I read sci-fi, I want more space, aliens, technology, and less political stuff. So my overall thoughts are, at the heart, this is a novel that offers commentary on political and social ideas that at times hits very close to home. He discusses society's tendency to accept the status quo and to never challenge the social and financial structures of the world, and also considers and evaluates how the establishment's restrictions are set in place based on biased agendas of governing forces, which I thought was very interesting. Among those heavy topics, he explores themes centered on the concept of time, both in the basis of physics and also the human lifespan. So it was exciting to watch these ideas shift throughout the multiple POVs and the several different time jumps within this layered book. Overall, the characters, I think all of Hamilton's main characters are fully fleshed out and dynamic, with an assortment of supporting characters who are just as distinctive and memorable. However, my favorite character would have to be Nigel. So Nigel is a 1,000-year-old genius who travels through the void in an attempt to save these humans that have been stranded on the other side. He was a really fun POV to read from. My final thoughts. Though at times some of the ideas may seem mundane. Hello, politics. Hamilton skillfully crafts his characters and weaves them into a complex plot with an ease that kind of just pulls you along for the ride. I would recommend this book to fans of science fiction. The premise is brilliant. The aliens are divergent from any other first contact story that I have ever read. Here's a quote. "Give the people the illusion of democracy. With a few elected councils that have been given power over local trivia, while you control anything that matters directly through the economy." So this is just a prime example of Hamilton's use of political maneuvering and political concepts that obviously were inspired by some of our own real life political standings and status. And I think that he is exploring and trying to like dismantle some of those ideas, and maybe even just saying how ingrained they really are in humans in general, because this society basically started from nothing and they had to rebuild civilization with just a bare minimum of some of the tech that came from before. And for them to end up in the same sort of place that humans are in now speaks to his belief that we have this ingrained nature within us that is inescapable, basically. That was my take on it. And like I said, the political pieces of this novel, well, I understood their necessity. I often wish that it wouldn't have been so much a part of this book. Did feel like at least half, if not more, was politically focused. And for me, when I pick up a science fiction, I want it to be more science fiction. I want it to be more about aliens and first contact and humans figuring out their place in the universe and how we mesh with other civilizations and how new technologies might affect us. And while this book certainly had that, I think that most of it, the majority, was more centered around this civilization that is in the same or very similar space that we are in now. And so it, like I said, it felt very much like just a political agenda focused book. And that's why I only gave it, 3.5 stars. It's because for me, that whole, such heavy focus on the political, it just detracted from the story ultimately for me. And so I think I will continue on because there is a book 2 in this series, and I am curious to see where he takes it. I feel like now that he's gotten that whole political aspect out of the way and they've moved beyond that for the most part, that maybe the next book will be more sci-fi, more science fiction, more aliens, more futuristic revelations, things like that. So, like I said, it was a really good book. His writing is a breeze to get through. It's not, there are some technical aspects to it for sure, but it wasn't hard to understand, to comprehend. I read it pretty quickly, and yeah, I would recommend it. Not my favorite of all time, but I have high hopes for his writing in general. I am excited to explore some of his other books. So that's gonna do it, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. If you have read it before, or maybe you want to read it and you have any questions, I will answer them. But I would like to know what you thought of it if you did read it. Did you find the political aspects a little bit overwhelming or a little bit overbearing? Or is that just me? It could just be me. I don't know. Am I a picky reader? Maybe. But, whatever. To each their own. Anyway, like the video if you liked it. And subscribe if you want to see more. I post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. See you again soon.